I'm here with Mr. Duffy from Mr. Duffy 81 on YouTube. How you doing?
What's up, y'all? I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Fantastic. Prolific Bigfoot YouTuber. Been around a long time, flying under the radar. When you talk shit on all the right people, nobody ever sees your content. That's what happens.
Hey, it's the plight of the comedian. Nobody wants to listen. They act like they can't hear you while they're walking out of the room.
There's no starving artist more starving than a Bigfoot guy.
I'm hungry, and I get paid. So you explain that one.
Yeah, we got that in common with Bigfoot, that's for sure. He was always... It's my favorite content because nobody can ever own Bigfoot. How can you, own a Bigfoot? You can't get a copyright struck for talking shit on Bigfoot. You even have the Bigfoot YouTubers who are pissed off because, History Channel keeps stealing their ideas, and they're like, how do I copyright Bigfoot? You can't do it. That's the beauty of it.
Oh, that's hilarious. I know. You got to be careful what you say because, yeah, those guys are vultures for the information, and then they'll take it on TV and make a mockery of it.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
People on TV are thinking the same thing I am. It's like, well, there's the content. There's where I can keep just talking shit. Nobody can ever stop me. They know.
Fuck. If I see Jeff Meldrum on TV one more time, I mean, it's official. He's the #1 cover-up Bigfoot guy out there. Like, this guy.
If I see that guy in real life, I'm going to beat his ass. I'm telling him right now.
It ain't even that. I want to beat him at his own game, bro. I want to expose him. You know what I mean? As they do the trick, I'm just undoing it just right behind it. But, there's this Marble Mountain footage, right? Where freaking, bro, I exposed in this video twice the Bigfoot looks like he's aiming the rifle at these people. He goes like this, from the top of the fucking mountain, right? And then Jeff Meldrum's on TV recently going, no, that's just a guy in a sweatshirt. He's just adjusting his sleeves. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, man?
You said it was a Bigfoot who was kind of mimicking the rifle motions?
Yeah, and the irony is, the kid at the bottom, one of the kids on video is going, oh, John has a 22 in his backpack. Let's shoot him. And I'm like, hey, you think the thing's not psychic? He's on top of the mountain, looking down there. I mean, granted, they're fucking aiming a fucking 90s video camera, so it looks like a shoulder-mounted,
Best videos.
I'm just saying, man. Who knows? But they're covering it.
All of the Bigfoot is an undiscovered great ape guys. All of those guys, you'd think they'd be on board with just killing a Bigfoot. Then you'd have the evidence. Then you can conserve finally when you blow its brains out.
They've killed so many Bigfoot, dude. Those things aren't coming to the light of day. I mean, had Rick Dyer get his first press conference on CNN, and then they come out and go, "No, it's a hoax." Are you kidding me? He did it with another police officer, and I swear to God, the picture I saw of the creature that they said was in the ice chest looked different than the one that they started showing on TV after the fact. So I'm just saying the TV and the conferences, in my opinion, is where the cover-ups happen. They'll just reaffirm the wrong information over and over and lay that shit out there. But not only was there a first press conference with Rick Dyer claimed that they found a Bigfoot body, they didn't even kill it. They said they came across a dead one and the others were around it. Then they had to recant their whole fucking story. Cop lost his job. And then Rick Dyer, dude, he goes to the San Antonio Home Depot after the homeless people are saying that there's Bigfoot back there. He fucking films this thing called the camper video that is 100% a real Bigfoot. He films it right through the screen mesh in the tent. He put pork ribs out there, and they even caught it on the Shooting Bigfoot documentary, the thing coming around and clotheslining the fucking cameraman. But Rick blasted that thing with a 30-06 and then sold that. He said to somebody in Las Vegas, there was a dude named Muskie Allen who was super critical of him, and then he comes and recants his story and said, Rick invited me to Las Vegas, thought it was bullshit, waited around, finally we get into this university, get to see the body, it's obviously had an autopsy done on it. So, I mean, that is way more interesting than any of the shit you hear on TV, you know what I mean?
I'm remembering the Minnesota Iceman and all of that, it sounds like almost the same story. When is the one?
You know it.
When is the events you were talking about? When was that?
I mean, it was after I got on the internet, so it was sometime between 2009 and 2012, probably. Somewhere in there. I think Tom Biscardi could have been involved, but that's the whole thing. It's you get these. See, here's the whole thing we're going to talk about tonight: is these double agents, the people who get on a scene and then whoop. Fumble the fucking game. It's like throwing a fucking game for the betting purpose.
Yeah.
Hey man, we'll throw you $20,000 if you just lose the game. Shit, okay, that much money's on the line. That's more than my fucking paycheck.
So
you know what I mean?
That's what happens. They keep producing a body and then it gets switched out just so that everybody can point at it and be like, "That's a fake body."
Guaranteed income, all these agents. I mean, look, dude, look at the UFO disclosure movement. It's being ran by fucking identified double agents like Whitley Strieber and Linda Moulton Howe.
Yeah.
William Cooper saw the documents of naval intelligence that said these people are on the fucking CIA payroll. And then here they are heading the fucking truth movement of UFO disclosure. Find anything yet?
You got guys like Jeremy Corbell who produce like every single like documentary that Netflix puts out. And then suddenly everyone believes in some shit out of nowhere.
Dude, I saw heard a connection between like Netflix and some of these early propagandists and like the people that are running Netflix, who owns it, whoever it is, because I don't watch that shit, but they're affiliated, related through generationally to some of these propagandists from the early like freaking 19th century, 20th century.
That's another one that comes up so often. There's the story from Admiral Byrd, who it's like the whole Hollow Earth thing, but then later on you have like his nephew is blowing whistles about the alien from Venus who lives in the Pentagon. It's like, why is it always the same family? What's up with this shit? That's always the way it is.
Well, there's the truth. What happens is the cat gets out of the bag, and then in order to get the cat back in the bag, you say, that was just grandma's mink fur hat, honey. Oh, okay, whatever. Sure, I didn't see the cat. They'll tell you any bullshit. Doesn't matter what you see. You were looking at the government flying UFOs in the fucking sky, and they're like, oh, they're from another planet. Well, they might have crashed here, but I mean, there's shit that you're taking for a fool all the time, and people are just played, and they're suckers for it. They're paying to go to the conferences, dude.
I hear Meldrum. He accepts $10,000 for a speaking engagement. If you want to hear from Meldrum, if you want to get him on your podcast, you better have $10,000. Is what I hear.
Oh sure, well, he's full of hot air. I can fucking listen to him repeat himself over and over. But it's like he's not at the forefront of the discovery. And dude, the guy is just like I said, they get compromised. The whole institution of science is controlled by the secret societies and Freemasonry. So while the scientific method is completely legit, they will fucking bastardize it to no end and make sure that they never get the right conclusion. And they'll make you, they'll ostracize you, gaslight you, make you look like the enemy when all you want to do is get to the truth that they're keeping everybody from. It's
even on the recent UAP conference on Senate.gov that was like 2 days ago. There's a point where the guy he's talking about his private anomaly research, whatever corporation he's part of, whatever that is, and he's saying not just evidence based, but science based. And then they're using doublespeak right there, because it's like they don't want to look at the evidence. They already have their own decisions made. That's where they're going.
Dude, that's a big thing in Denver. We believe in science. That's what it's that they get these placards. I don't know. They print them out. They're all rainbow with a black background. They believe Black Lives Matter. They believe science.
In this house, we believe Bigfoot's real.
But it's all these rhetorical statements. Yeah. It's the cult-like mentality, and that's what all of these belief systems become. The conferences, the cult. The people like the Meldrums that believe this guy's right. It's a cult. The How to Hunt, the David Paulidises, they draw the line. They say flesh and blood. This is my comfort level. These are my people. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. And okay, once you're in, you're fucking in. You know what I mean? But they don't understand free thought. They don't understand they're limiting themselves. And there's so many witness reports across the board with what Bigfoot can do that I'm like, why can't it be flesh and blood and spiritual? I mean, there's reports of like Bushmen turning into fucking plants and shit. I just heard a story on Bigfoot Crossroads about Bigfoot teaching a guy how to turn into a fucking stump or something. So
yeah,
I'm just saying, like, who knows?
That is the thing. And all of the most repeated, most popular stories, there is like this spiritual or paranormal or metaphysical element that they just leave out. People will just leave out of their own convenience. But it's like, then you realize when the guy had the famous Bigfoot sighting, he was called there by like the goddess of the lake or something. It's
no joke. I've had some fucking weird stuff happen. But one cool thing, I was watching this guy his name's Brian Bland. His show's kind of off the charts. I don't really like watching it because it goes on for 4 hours and they just kind of go in circles. But he does have some of the best structure and glyph evidence from like BC, Vancouver area. And he was chanting this drum saying, Sasquatch, teach me the secrets of the universe. But I'm sitting here thinking like, I wonder what if Sasquatch would know any secrets of the universe. Like, what would they know? Like, what knowledge could they have? Like, I'm thinking like deeply about this shit, right? Dude, I do research all the time where they go to this lake. I fucking go there the next day. I found the fucking Fibonacci sequence made out of stones from a big ass rock, smaller all the way down to a little fucking pebble, bro. A fucking do fucking spiral, the exact Fibonacci sequence depicted in rocks on the beach, like they knew I was gonna fucking find it. I know humans didn't fucking make it. There was even they had a huge outline in sticks. I think it was the fucking 5:3 ratio depicted in a rectangle of sticks that didn't even occur to me. I'm like, somebody make a fucking soccer thing and was like playing out here. And then I saw the stones and I'm like, oh my god, dude. And I've got it on video and it's pretty amazing. But like, they're I never tried. Melba Ketchum said they're half human. I never would have said, "Oh yeah, I think these things are half human." I've seen two juveniles at different times. Well, I've actually seen four juveniles. I think two definitely at different times, and one time I saw a set of twins when I was hanging out with this girl down at a state park south of me, about an hour. But I thought they were kids like smoking pot in the woods, dude. They were all black. They were behind some bushes, and they were walking sideways away from me, like giving me the stare. And I was like, "Oh shit, I don't want to bug you." I was just like, "They must be people or something back there." But like looking back, I'm like, "There's no way there were people." We climbed up a 20-foot fucking rock face to like go get privacy to like do our thing, and then there's some fucking kids back here that I think were juvenile Sasquatch. And this guy Mark Para has filmed them in that park, big ones and little ones, and he researched there for like 13 years. So like, yeah, they're fucking out there, man. But forget where I was going with that.
Well, you're talking about like what secrets could they hold, and I think that's what I find myself wondering when it is so similar to the UFO stuff, and it's like assuming there's a Bigfoot conspiracy. It is more tight-lipped than the alien one, and they are more reticent. There is more hesitance to let us know about Bigfoot than there would be aliens, and I wonder why that could be. And to me, it seems like it's probably because their survival mechanism that they've evolved is one that is essentially spiritual. That is how they stay out of sight. Whether it's telepathy, cloaking, whatever, all weird things that are to us basically like yogic superpowers that people meditate by the Ganges for 50 years just to be able to even understand.
What's interesting too, though, is that like the truth of the matter is that Bigfoot is not working with the government, whereas it's been documented that our alien intelligence is working with the government and the military in underground bases, in technology exchanges, in human abductions, in human experimentation. They say that they invented the sex change techniques in underground laboratories on unwilling participants. And then all of a sudden, oh, look what we can do. Yeah, I've fucking dissected a dick so many times, I can turn a fucking hot dog into a taco.
turn some fish inside out and you got a vagina, brother.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want any part of that shit, and I'm gonna know the difference too. Don't try to fucking trick me, all right? But I'm just telling you, dude.
Yeah. So let's get into your figures like Polites and all that. The people who are like sanctioned Bigfoot people. When you search, the Bigfoot information, these are the people you come to. Now, Polites is fucking frustrating. So many people out there will be like, "Well, he never even said Bigfoot." It's like, oh no, he only wrote 3 books about it before he even mentioned Missing 411 about the exact same situations. You got your granite fields, your berry bushes, you got all the stuff is there. It's all there.
Well, even let me just. I mean, I'm going to take it all over the place, but I'm going to directly link it back to the UFO movement right here, because after all the fucking shit that he's put everybody through, look at him right now coming out with Missing 411, the UFO connection. That's going to be his new film. So after you thought he doesn't have a Missing 411 Bigfoot edition, Bigfoot connection. He doesn't. He has the missing, he has the hunters, and now the UFOs. Where's the fucking cryptids? He told Scott Carpenter not to talk about Dogman when they were doing the DNA project for Melba Ketchum, and he donated DNA with Scott. He's like, don't talk about Dogman. People are going to think we're crazy. We'll lose our credibility. He told George Knapp on the Coast to Coast AM program when he implied that it was Bigfoot. Dude, he interrupts George Knapp on the spot, because I was listening to Coast to Coast religiously when he was on. I'd find out. I'd stay up till 2 in the fucking morning. I'd listen to the shows live. I wanted to know what the fuck this guy was all about, because I know that the Coast to Coast AM program is notorious for having disinformation agents, for gatekeeping, for making sure the people that want to talk don't get the truth out, or the truth is skewed and controlled. And I've seen Ian Punnett and George Norrie do it masterfully for fucking years. So I'm watching this shit intently, knowing he's coming out on the fucking Coast to Coast AM program. So this guy's close to me in my life, dude, because my mom's a realtor. She sold him a house in Colorado, not her house. He was a client of hers, and she said, "Hey, you might know this guy. Been on Coast to Coast AM." My mom said that he said, "Come on down if you want to meet him. Here's where he lives," and blah blah blah. But I didn't, because I was skeptical of him right off the fucking listening to what he said. But when he interrupted him and said, "I don't believe in the fucking Dogman," I never said it was Bigfoot. And all those water deaths he talks about, dude, those could be UFO related. But he says, "Oh, I don't give any credence to the smiley face killers," which could be like a satanic cult murdering of these like good looking guys, like strong college kids, going out getting them boozed up and fucking slipping them in the water and killing them, like doing a satanic sacrifice. Like nobody would ever know. Like Satanism is real. That's the thing people don't get. Like it's in society. Like you can have police officers, you can have judges, depending on the community that you're in and how small and how tight knit or whatever the case is, how infested it is. You really do have satanic cult activity within society through the secret societies, which are notorious for permeating military government. And that's where they get together. That's where they meet each other. That's where they control people, because they get jobs where psychopaths and sociopaths gravitate to, which is do what the fuck I say at gunpoint, or I'm the judge, boom, 30 years for mouthing off to me. And they're fucking unscrupulous people that are involved in Lucifer worship or straight satanic sacrifice. What's the difference? If you're believe in the light and Lucifer is God, or you're fucking sticking knives in a fucking baby, like it's all the same to me.
Yeah, and a lot of people, like, of course your low-level Masons don't knowingly do it, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're part of a network where basically their politics and their ideology are totally decided for them. So you'll have like small towns that are totally controlled by the local Masonic lodge. Are they sacrificing babies in there? Like, no, but they're given marching orders by the people that the satanic pedophile glue, the only glue there is holding this nation together. Like, they are giving marching orders through the secret societies in these small towns.
Guaranteed. I'll just say this, dude. The Black Lives Matter people in Denver meet at the Knights of Columbus Hall. That's the Jesuits. So the Jesuits, dude, I knew a fucking Knight of Malta. I found out this guy was a fucking very high-ranking Jesuit. And he was a very high-ranking individual in a very nationwide known biker gang. This guy was a mover and a shaker, bro. Big time. Liked me a lot. He wanted me to marry his daughter. He liked me so much. Lost his son. I lived near him. I did work for him for cheap. Go over there, drink 18 packs with him. One day he says, "Hey, I'm a Knight of Malta." I said, "I know all about the Jesuits." This motherfucker's jaw hit the floor. Never called me again. And dude, he runs a fucking criminal organization. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But those are the people moving the drugs. The Black Lives Matter movement comes in, and then whoop, here's a fucking pound of fentanyl. Whoop, here's all the fucking meth. Go destroy your fucking community. And that's what's going on all across this fucking globe. Ask Cody Snodgrass. It's special forces running shit through the fucking biker gangs, bro. That's how some of the terrorism goes down. Shooting at the fucking Walmart in El Paso, Texas. They said there was like 4 shooters. Try to blame it on one person. They just get motherfuckers to do a fucking mission.
Every one of these things Bill Cooper predicted, by the way. And that we haven't talked about a single thing here that Bill Cooper didn't predict.
I'm just telling you, bro. Some heavy information when you get into the truth. And exactly what happened to William Cooper. Yeah, they targeted him out and they singled him out and they made sure they killed him. I mean, if he stayed in his house that night, it might not have happened then. Who knows how they would have got him. But, they made sure that guy didn't make any money, and they made sure they ruined his life. But he sure as hell did expose the government, and that JFK assassination unmasked. Everybody should look that up, dude, because you can see the driver of the limo turn around, pop JFK in the head, and that's why Jackie was hopping out the back of the limo.
Yeah. So many of these people he's talking about, like in Behold a Pale Horse, on Hour of the Time, these are a lot of the same people who are coming up in the disclosure circles. And when you see documentaries about Bob Lazar produced by Jeremy Corbell, when he produces something about the Skinwalker Ranch, and when, he's all wrapped up in all of these weird things, and it's like the same group that's just slowly divulging information with a ton of bullshit to make sure that you can't cling on to any of it. You can't make any sense of any of it, and you always sound like a crazy person when you talk about it.
Well, look at you, Skinwalker gang. You know what I'm saying? That term, Skinwalker.
Yeah.
I'm saying, dude, catchy. It's catchy,
Yeah.
but it's being fucking thrown around like fucking shit in a monkey house. Okay,
Yep.
I heard a dude the other day. This DA something on the Texas Front Porch Show talking about, oh, skinwalkers are this and they can do this, and I'm like, dude, they're people. They're fucking. It's a satanic cult where they fucking put this ointment on. There's been witnesses, and they fucking start chanting and doing all this, medicine, Indian magic, and all of a sudden the fucking furs merge, and these people are like possessed with the spirit of the animal, and I don't know how it happens, but I'm just saying, like, the skinwalker isn't just something that exists.
Is
Like,
that related to the Dogman thing?
dude, I saw a fucking 9 foot long, probably 4.5, 5 foot tall wolf run in front of my truck. And the only reason I saw it was because I was whipping through the neighborhood, driving like 45 and a 25, like on an S curve, like coming around this blind curve with a huge bush. And when my headlights came around, dude, I see this thing jump, and it's gray, and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't even know what it is yet. I'm looking at the head I'm looking at the head all the way to the tail to the left. So first I see the long snout. I see something above it. I'm like, what? I'm thinking it's antlers. I don't know, because it's lunging and it's moving fast, and I'm driving fast. And I'm like, is that antlers? And then I look at the body, and it's like a fucking 50-gallon drum. And I'm like, damn, that is like, is this a huge stag? What the fuck is this? And then when it lands, bro, its back legs were across the half of the road already, and its back breaks like a greyhound dog. And then I go, oh my god, this is a fucking wolf or a dog? I look back to the front, and I get a clear view of the snout, and it's got its mouth is a little bit open. I can see teeth. Its nose is like up, like it's breathing the air, like smelling where it's about to run, like checking the scene that it's running into, bro. And what I thought was like antlers or something was actually long hair, bro. Like, I'm thinking like 18, 20 inches long hair flowing off the back, like a mane of hair, like separate from the gray hair on the body, except I could see every hair in the body like whipping in the wind. It was running so fast. I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, 2 leaps, dude. It was like, it was out of frame, like still with the legs like in the air, just like boing, like flying
Yeah.
air, like behind the bush. And I fucking flipped, dude. I got a fucking night vision infrared scope, and I straight up went home. I got a fucking pistol. I got that fucking thing, and had it like this, just open, trying to look to see, like, oh my god, is it in this field? Is it looking? Is it behind a set of bushes? Like, where is this thing? But I never say it's a Dogman. I never saw it stand up. But dude, that shit, you talk about the Tasmanian tiger earlier, we were chatting before the recording.
Yeah.
Like, this was like a prehistoric, like, that's what I felt. I was like, this is like out of like fucking Jurassic Park. I was like, this is like way too big to even be existing. I'm like, it was like seeing a fucking grizzly. And I'm in the fucking, I'm right outside of Denver in the foothills. I'm just like, what the fuck was that? Just like rocked my fucking world, bro. I never really, I was just always hoped I never saw a Dogman, because I do Bigfoot research. Never thought I'd see one in the fucking neighborhood I live in.
My problem with Dogman as like a biological creature is like how do you get locomotion like that? How do feet work like that? Bipedal with like the dog feet. Like, it doesn't seem to. It's not like something would evolve like that. I don't think that's got to be. It's got to be either bullshit or weird magic. Can't be anything else.
My ex-wife saw one with her 2 daughters standing up between apartment buildings. The fucking girl comes in, screams, said there's something outside. Who the fuck knows? There could be. This is this guy that my buddy, that I know, a dude from Illinois that knows a researcher from that neck of the woods, and he's a Latino guy, but he's like a dog trainer, and he's really good with dogs. And dude, he's like had experiences with these things like surrounding him, like, and he thought they were gonna kill him, and he just like used dog psychology and was like not scared, and he just said that he like backed him off, and like they didn't kill him, but he says there's like an emotional connection sometimes, like people that have like emotional trauma. Like, when I saw it, I was going through a divorce, and I was pissed. I was like, this fucking bitch, I can't believe she's fucking acting like this. And I was just driving like a fucking madman, you know? And I'm like, is there a connection between my emotional state and seeing the thing? But I mean, dude, it was as real to make me go get a fucking gun. You know what I mean?
Makes you think of things like Mothman, where they appear just before something terrible happens, almost as if it's like this psychic energy of people, you know, in the area bringing it there. Then it pops.
Yeah, dude. The guy was asking me the other day, like I did an interview a while back on a show. He's like, "You think you can like summon Bigfoot with your mind?" It's like I never really thought that, but then I do think, yeah, maybe you can like bring him out. You know what I mean? Like I saw this weird video where, dude, one like as big as me or bigger fucking leans out from like a tree like this big. I'm like, what the fuck? And it, like half the body comes out, goes back, peeks out, and I was like, they had a little YouTube short of it, but still it was fucking compelling and it was close, and I don't think it was a hoax. Like
that's what they say about UFOs. They got CE5 now, close encounters of the fifth kind, where you do the meditation and you summon them to you. So
yeah, there was a guy in California that would like call on like Yahweh.
Yeah, Prophet Yahweh. Yeah.
Remember that shit?
Yeah, I do. I do remember him. I was actually just brushing up on my the Antichrist Dajjal will be a reptilian shapeshifter, where the guy who makes the documentary goes and hangs out with him. Classic.
I'm just saying, dude. You know what? I know there's truth to everything. You know what I mean? And then it gets perverted. It gets perverted. It's terrible. Yeah. That's the way of the friggin' world.
Yeah, and frankly, I think that might be how the universe works, is that when you believe in something and you actually give a shit about it, suddenly it is real to you. It shows itself to you.
Well, it's true. Like there's evidence that shows like what you give your thought to. And that also goes to like all the fucking needless distractions and like how they can just control certain like demographics into like criminality or just fucking stupidity for that matter. Like, here, oh, you're a Democrat? Here, well then just believe in anything. Like, yeah. You know what I mean?
How easy it is to just astroturf and just like co-opt an entire thing. Just like you have 2 YouTube channels, you co-opt an entire movement. Easy. And all you had to do was fund 2 YouTube channels. That's all it took. It's chump change to these fucking people. Then suddenly you have like Steve Isdal, howtohunt.com. He's putting out videos about like, okay, I can't stand this guy, total fucking boomer. His photos are the goofiest things I've ever seen in my life. He'll show the stupidest photo you've ever seen, and he'll be like, well, is it real? I don't know. You be the judge. Doesn't prove anything. I'm like, of course it doesn't prove anything. He took a fucking photo of a fucking wooden Bigfoot silhouette, and you fucking showed it on this fucking the top Bigfoot channel as if it was real. Of course you're a retard and it's not going to do anything. Can't stand that shit. Then
he posted 2 different fake Dogman photos claiming, look, Dogman feet. And then people are like, dude, that's a fucking mastiff with like fungal infection.
You know there's people out there who are like, this guy is so stupid, let's just send him in whatever the fuck and see if he shows it.
I've been boycotting from the beginning. He came out, some of his first videos, he was like, yeah, he's like 99% of Bigfoot researchers are fucking idiots. And I was like, God damn, first I took offense, but then I was like, you know what, I think you're right.
He is. He's a broken clock.
Well, he doesn't do any fucking research of his own. So I'm like, how'd you become the fucking authority? He's like, okay, boys and girls, everybody sit down on the blankets. Bigfoot time. That's how David Paulides is lately. When he leads his cult, I'm like, dude, how old are these kids? They're either like 65 plus in a nursing home, or they're like 17 years old to like 13, like totally into it. And their mom's like, go to bed. Like, I'm just like, who are you fucking think you're teaching? He's like, Bigfoot class number. I'm like, dude, you're not teaching anybody about Bigfoot because you're not relating it to 411. So like, why are you teaching a Bigfoot class?
Right.
The other day I watched it. It's like, okay, when was the PG film? When was blah blah? I'm like, okay, you have all these old Bigfoot facts from the 70s, and that's what they try to do, bro. Is like keep at the conferences. They want Bigfoot back in like Ron Moorhead, 1972. Like, okay, oh, we had a sighting in like 1981. I'm like, what about fucking like the ongoing shit where people have like a habituation and show some like good shit? I'm like, I don't want to hear fucking Bigfoot in the past. I'm like, enough with the fucking Bob Gimlin. Like,
yeah.
Fucking, you got your.
He's an old man. He's a doddering old man.
But he's like, dude, he's affiliating with the hoaxers.
You're
so
right.
Like,
they're paying him. What?
I told Mike Patterson of Sasquatch, Ontario. I go, dude, how are you gonna be on a show with Long Island Bigfoot who fucking zooms in on a fucking lump on a fucking pine tree and's like, Bigfoot? Dude, that's a fucking tree. I know, but like 10,000 people disagree. Okay? What is that?
That's true.
Okay. So what? Like, dude, how do you be on a show with these fucking hoaxers as the moderators? As soon as I go on, I'm like, oh, there's a wrench next to this hoaxer's name. Like, never mind. Even I'm gonna drop shit. Like, Duke of World Bigfoot Radio just made the most erroneous claim and got Kelly Shaw of the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization to produce a video showing nothing. It was like it was when they freeze framed it clip by clip by clip by clip by clip. There it is. It
Yeah.
turned into a face with 2 eyes and a nose for one
Shit.
fucking frame, dude. And I'm like, you're going to put your reputation on that? I'm like, you are leading the fucking circus. I'm like, it doesn't even matter. Like, we can lose one person who's smart because 1,000 others are just jumping on the fucking bandwagon.
Why is it that David Paulides is so afraid to mention Bigfoot, and yet he'll sit there on the same stage as How to Hunt Steve Isdall? And now he's not giving any new information on that stage, but at the same time, you're lending credence to this goofball who's very much saying it's Bigfoot, and you sitting there giving him credence. It very much sounds like you're talking about Bigfoot here. And now Steve Isdall thinks David Paulides is a really good guy, dude, and he's sure that David Paulides is talking about Bigfoot. Because what else is he talking? He's a Bigfoot guy. They talk about Bigfoot. But it's like, so David Paulides cannot talk about Bigfoot all he wants, but when he's hanging out with Steve Isdall, and Steve Isdall on his YouTube channel is talking about how David Paulides thinks it is Bigfoot, it's just confusing, and maybe that's the point.
Oh, dude, that's what happens when you're a double agent and you're trying to maintain your status in the fucking club, and then you got a fucking Canadian from across the border just, like, dropping in and shitting on your parade. Like, he's trying to fucking run shit. But that's what I think, is that he's probably a fucking double agent, sent in, wrote a couple books about Bigfoot. Dude, he's got anonymous donors from Silicon Valley. Dude, Silicon Valley is, like, behind the fucking porn industry, behind, like, so many fucking things that you'd be like, dude, they're milking the country for fucking funds, just wringing the country dry. Like, I mean, it's just, you know, all these apps that people are, like, slaving and fucking DoorDash to make a fucking dollar, and somebody's just sitting back driving their Lambo, like, I got 1 million people working for me right now, fucking making about $29,000 a minute. Like, that's the fucking sickness. And David's claiming those are his anonymous donors. I don't even buy that shit. And then he fucking breaks into the community, writes the books about Bigfoot, gets plastered all over Coast to Coast AM, and then 411 book career gets launched. And it's a big one. And he's been all over the world, to Australia and Canada, and tricking everybody that can fucking speak English. And it's like, dude, you fucking won't mention Bigfoot. You don't want to talk about the wild man. What about animal attacks? That's the other thing that pisses me off. Doesn't meet his profile. They have to be this. Well, everything that, like, they could be. He's taking all the Bigfoot people and he's steering them towards the UFO. So that's why it never be any footprints. The dogs won't. I thought the dogs wouldn't follow because they were scared of Bigfoot, David. Oh no, maybe the UFO's wigging him out. Maybe, I mean, like, he never will fucking.
I read the Hoopa Project and he says it's Bigfoot.
Dude, look, his son killed himself.
Yeah.
So how good of a fucking dude could he be?
Well, I have a theory about actually exactly that. My theory is that David Paulides is making all this money on Bigfoot, having a great time. His son was having issues in his life, probably, and he, like, legitimately wanted to help his son. So, like, what do? I take my thing for Missing 411, and now you get to produce a movie about it. You can take that and run with it. It's your foot in the door with movies. That shit didn't work out. It's a terrible movie. By the end of it, you're pretty sure the family killed the kid. I don't know anything about the case. All I know is that they edited it like shit, and I just don't buy it at all. But then his son kills himself, clearly still having problems, and I think David Paulides at that point had some guilt about the fact that he has just widened the criteria for what is a missing 411 case to be anyone who's ever gone missing in the woods. And maybe these were some kids with problems who killed themselves, and maybe their families never knew about it. I think he's literally got some demons in him over that, and that's why he takes it in the UFO case, because then it's like, all right, at least I can take him all over here to this goofy fucking thing. It'll never be taken seriously again. I wonder about that.
It makes me fucking wonder, because here's the other thing, like, if he is affiliated with the government and it's possible to gain sympathy, because here's what happens. If you get, like, let me just put it this way. Somebody did a Freedom of Information request on Elvis Presley, and guess what the FBI sent back? They found out that the FBI put Elvis into the witness protection program, faked his death, and that he was found dead under an LA overpass. They fingerprinted the John Doe, and it came back as Elvis Presley. That was in the FBI documents from the Freedom of Information Act. So Nixon put Elvis, and then they just released a fucking movie about it. Shoot yourself in the fucking head, America, you stupid propaganda. Fuck. You fucking believe in anything that you're fucking told, motherfuckers. They fucking rewrite history through Hollywood. They got fucking movies about 9/11 that are covering it up. But the point is, Elvis was put into the witness protection program. Sandy Hook What happens when Professor James Spetzer starts blowing the lid off it? Alex Jones starts exposing the fakery and the fact that the school wasn't even in operation. What happens? Oh, boop, people start disappearing too. Oh, this girl committed suicide. Oh, it said, these are the headlines week for week. Sandy Hook survivor commits suicide. The next week, Sandy Hook survivor's best friends commit suicide. Next week, father of Sandy Hook suicide victim commits suicide. Guess what they all did? They were put into the fucking witness protection program. They got a new fucking life. They got millions of dollars. Here's your new identity, Mr. Ronald. Here's your ID, funded by the government, funded by the mafia. Go fucking be yourself now. New identity. They could have been covered up for David's fucking kid. They could have said, here, you're fucking suicidal. You want a new life? Your dad's a dumb fuck. Here. I'm just letting you know, bro. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm like, I'm skeptical. Either the fucking dude's a deadbeat, this fucking kid killed himself, or he fucking disappeared. Who knows? But yeah, it sounds more likely what you say, actually. Fucking, but I'm just saying.
No,
bro,
it's shady. Truth. It's super shady. It's right up there with like John Travolta's son killing himself or whatever happened with that. It's right up there with any of these weird things. It all seems so trivial, the Bigfoot shit, but there's clearly something else at play here. God knows.
You can see I'm passionate about it. I know, bro. Sorry, I'm getting a little worked up. But exactly, it's like it's such a mind fuck when you're like, really, people are fucking lying at every fucking turn, and it's never played fair. You can't get a fucking straight answer from the government. And once you know how the cover-ups operate, dude, they've been doing it since the 1960s. Timothy Leary handing out fucking doses. Here, you want some acid? You want trip balls? Here, then fucking all of a sudden they fucking raid your fucking safe house. They find out you're fucking against the war. They you know what I mean? They fucking give some drugs to one dude who comes in. They follow him to the back door, and all of a sudden, oh, search warrant on this house. Everybody's in jail. Oh, got you with drugs that Timothy Leary gave him in the first place. I'm just saying, it's fucking wacko how the fucking world works, how they'll fucking set you up. So they got double agents everywhere, dude. They're fucking Ken Gerhardt is over there trying to be a proponent for Bigfoot, and then I catch him fucking, gets an ass for the fucking cover-up saying, oh, those must be bear prints then. And I'm like, wait a minute. You got the fucking skull and crossbones right on your black fucking pirate hat every time you wear that. I'm like, what does that mean? That could be some symbolism. These guys, they got that skull and crossbones symbolism. William Cooper was exposing Art Bell as a Freemason and showed him the skull and crossbones shirt.
Yeah.
But there's this TV show called Expedition Bigfoot, and there's one fucking tall-ass fucking string bean dude, and fucking he's always back at home base on the computer, but they always make sure they show his ring. And what is it? It's a fucking horseshoe. Knight of the Equestrian Order. It could be fucking Jesuit affiliates. It could be a symbol to the secret societies that you don't know.
It can all sound so silly. Sometimes we say these things to the point where it loses the meaning. But the fact of the matter is, basically everyone who's ever been on TV was on Epstein's Island. Tangible. You know what I mean? We got evidence. The FBI has the evidence. It sucks. It is the reality. Like they're creating a fucking dark sorcerers are creating a fake reality for you constantly, and anything that's easy to get a hold of, anything that's just like given to you by the media, it is creating a fake reality for you, and that's the point of all of this. It's the point of all of it.
Gatekeeping. They've got every rung of the ladder controlled, so that if you want to get exposed to the public eye and you want to be a millionaire and you want to come up and peep your head out, you've already been groomed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. You know what I mean? That's how they make you a CEO. That's how corporate America's stealing millions and people do nothing for 7-figure salary on all the work of the fucking working man. You know what I mean? Because they'll sell them out all the way up. They'll wink in the nod and play the fucking game against everybody else and keep the secret until, okay. Oh, that's how it is even when they're sacrificing these millionaires. It's like, you think that these music stars and these actors just got to be millionaires and multimillionaires and billionaires on their own volition? No, somebody made them. Somebody allowed them the opportunity to go through their network, to be presented to the public through their organization, and they fucking own you, and that's the way they look at it. And you don't get into somebody else's organization and start fucking being a little too big for your fucking britches. Whoop, you get fucking knocked down real fucking fast. You better play that fucking game how they want you to play, This is when I start wondering, we're like a nation who's completely psyops, and people who are MK Ultra, just across the board. And it's like part of it, what they want is chaos, which they want is for you to be afraid. They need the shootings. They need all this crazy shit. They need people snapping so that they can justify the hold they have over society. How long can that possibly go in their direction?
You have
Oh my God.
crazy people who are busted by the system, but can also like look around and be like, wait, why would I go hurt innocent people when like there's clearly people doing damage to our society, you know, and it's not secret. You'd think it has to blow up eventually. You'll lose control eventually, is what I would imagine. I hope.
Well, just look at the end game, bro. It's a destructive. Yeah, it's like musical chairs. Pretty soon you're left with nowhere to sit. You know what I mean? That's how they got the homeless epidemic. Are they taking care of people? No. People are getting pushed off the fucking cliff. People are getting stuck out in 10 cities. It's got a lot to do with the drug pushing by the Jesuits, which I've already referenced. It's got a lot to do with all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, they're never going to slow down, bro. They've got control of the driver's seat, and they would rather crash the car, meaning the country, than ever pull over and give it back to the people, you know?
That's right. That's why, like in Canada, now it's like if you got a hangnail, you can just go and get euthanized. If it's too much for you now, just get euthanized. And that's how it is. They'll find a way to do something good with your body. They'll turn your body into something that they can like make money
Plant
off
food.
of. Yeah, whatever it is, they're selling it. They're going to mark it up and sell it.
In Denver, they're turning people's bodies into liquid plant food. They're heating your body up under hot water, boiling you down until you're liquid. I'm not kidding. This is on the fucking news. And they turn you into plant food. If you could turn me to plant food, just bury me out back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's easy.
Yeah.
You don't even have to bury me. Give me the sky burial where all the birds come.
Yeah, my eyes probably taste good after I'm dead. I know. Go ahead, have them.
Yeah.
But you know what they do, though? My friend did a report on in college about the organ donation, and so you give them for free. You should be getting paid for this shit, dude, because they're selling your fucking tendons. They're selling every bit of skin that they can cut off your body. Let me tell you this story. I knew somebody that did this job. I'll just say through my wife's daughter, I knew somebody that did this job.
Yeah.
And bro, he said one day this thing comes through with no skin and it was not human. And she said, that's how the Dogman topic came up. Because my wife said that she said it was like a Dogman, like human dog creature that had already had the skin removed, and she had to cut up all the tendons off the bone.
Jesus Christ. It's not the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Bro, there's the Dogman right there.
Yes.
Flame, what up, dude? This is Flame, brother Flame, with us now. Flame, before you get started, you have the best Bob Gimlin story. What happened when you saw Bob Gimlin? What was your Bob Gimlin sighting?
Yeah, so like I went to a convention back in I think it was like 2013, and when I saw him there, he was asking questions, and after he was done asking questions, I came up to him and but I didn't actually first talk to him. I actually didn't even say anything to him. I didn't ask him a question or anything. What I did is I walked up to him, I shoulder checked the fuck out of him. I called him a fucking baby killer because the shit he was involved with in Bluff Creek. He fucking killed those baby Sasquatch.
You think he really did, though, bro? Obviously, do. But I just think it was funny that you shoulder checked.
Yeah, the Bluff Creek Massacre.
Bob likes it when you get up close and you whisper in his ear. He likes Victor Rollo to rub his balls under the table at the conferences and get his dick hard. He gets all excited when he gets up in front of the stage. Got a big cowboy bulge. People think he's got a 45 in his crotch.
So the Bluff Creek Massacre, I think that was something that was popularized by M.K. Davis, and I think Steve Isdall has run with it in recent years. But the idea that Patterson and Gimlin, when they rolled up on that Bigfoot that day, that it was like a group of Bigfoot, and whoever they were with just blasted. And then the Bigfoot they filmed was actually a mama Bigfoot who was with her dying baby Bigfoot, like comforting it, and it was reluctant to leave. And that's supposedly what happened. How do you feel about that?
Didn't they claim that they used the baby as fucking bait to fucking get the other ones to come and like shot it or some shit?
I'm pretty sure that is the story.
I don't know.
It's hard to remember all the details of this.
I think these guys are having flashbacks from Vietnam. They're like, bro, that shit happened in fucking Gulu Guang Pai. It happened up in Vancouver or wherever fucking, I don't know, California maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. There's a lot of baby killers out there. Let's put it that way.
That's true.
I mean, if you support the military, you're a fucking baby killer in my eyes. So fuck you.
So, like, what happened over at Bluff Creek was apparently, what's his name, Gremlin or whatever the fuck that dude's name is. Yeah, so this dude with the other guy, like, they were there before they got the sighting, apparently, and then they left, and then the people from the logging company called them up and said, "Hey, they're here." So it was the people at the logging company that actually killed the Bigfoots. And and that video that you see where Bigfoot is like walking away, that's the mother Bigfoot after witnessing that their babies are dead and she's trying to
tell me you
walk
said
away.
that fucking he's a baby killer, but then you said the loggers killed the babies. Like who killed the Bigfoot?
Dude, he was involved in it, dude. They're all baby killers, man. Yeah, he filmed it.
Guilt by association, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I know, that is fucked up.
So how do we feel about MK Davis at the end of the day?
He's a whistleblower, dude. He's a true American hero.
MK Davis.
Yeah, he's a whistleblower.
This is how the Tasmanian tiger thing came up earlier, is because MK Davis has a bunch of videos on his channel about, like, sightings on his property of Bigfoot, filmed on potatoes, dude. Potatoes. And
no, that wasn't his property, though, in Texas. That was somebody else's property.
Okay. Well, they're pretty interesting videos. And I'll even...
90s, man. Nobody got 90s Bigfoot footage, though.
Not all of it was the 90s, I don't think. I think it was well into the 2000s he was still doing that shit, but...
Some of it was VHS, I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, it was like all VHS. That's my problem. Yeah. But I'll believe this guy's the expert on Bigfoot. That's all well and good. But when he starts taking videos of thylacines in Australia and analyzing them as if he's the thylacine guy, the Tasmanian tiger guy, then it's like, all right, well, maybe you're just making all this shit up.
Well, bro, look at fucking Thinker Thunker. Like, he comes out and he fucking has amazing, like, revelations for Bigfoot. And he's the angulature of the, like, knee to the fucking foot, the angle that the foot is. Like, that's groundbreaking shit. But then lately, dude, I'm exposing this motherfucker for his shortcomings. He's making false assertions. He's being a whiny bitch. For faking, though? What's that?
He's being a whiny bitch, is what he's doing.
Dude, he's fucking posting fucking fake shit. But he was covering for it. Meldrum was on this fucking documentary. Then he's like, and here's the footage of the Sasquatch. And then it comes out, and he's like, why would the producers put this out there? They must have been tricked. They think this is real, but for some reason, they just didn't know not to air it.
That's a pretty good impression.
Fucking hoaxing dumb fuck. I'm like, oh. Fucking reach out and slap your ass.
Yeah, he was doing some videos where he was like, they stole my ideas. They stole all my ideas, and he's like giving evidence. And it's like, and then the kicker is, he's like, yeah, they offered me money to be on their show. They offered me money, and I declined it because I have anxiety issues. I can't be on TV, but they stole my... Dude, they offered you money for your stupid Bigfoot ideas, and you turned it down, and you're whining?
I swear to God, I had a professor named Starbuck in college, and like the other day I was like, is Thinker Thunker Professor Starbuck? I'm like, he sounds just like him. He's like a whiny guy, he's got to talk like this, yeah. I'm like, I think that's who the fuck he is. I'm about to expose his whole fucking identity.
Yeah. He's been doing videos about why he is the way he is, basically. Oh, I don't even understand.
His last name Starbuck. Ask him.
I will.
His last name Starbuck. Everybody ask him.
I will. He's just coping because he can't be the famous Bigfoot guy. But guess what? There's like 3 famous Bigfoot guys on Earth. You don't get to be one of them. Bummer.
Dude,
it's
David
a bummer.
Paulides was fucking out there complaining that Mr. Beast is making more money and getting more views off the same information that he let out. I'm like, maybe
oh my God, dude.
Than you stupid
fuck. Is this guy really comparing?
Not Mr. Beast. What was the fucking dude's? It was some other channel though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, Yakov. What was that Bigfoot channel with that corny bald motherfucker? That corny ass motherfucker.
Which one?
Like, we're the funniest Bigfoot show ever.
Oh my God. Oh my God, it was the most political Bigfoot show ever, where it was... I don't know, why the fuck... Why do we need more diversity in the Bigfoot community? We need, like, gay representation in the Bigfoot community? Like, I'm sure there's one guy out there who's into Bigfoot and he's gay, and I'm fine with him. But it's like...
Dude, he's the one rubbing Bob's nuts under the conference table. Actually,
yeah,
he's got his whole head down there.
He likes
That's where they got
Bigfoot way more than us, dude.
Hanging all the way to the floor.
That gay dude likes Bigfoot a little too much.
Hey, Bigfoot's
I
got
don't know.
big dicks. I think that's why they like them, you know? And they like that hairy shit, too. Those guys are fucking weird.
My least favorite Bigfoot guy is Bigfoot Tony, because Bigfoot Tony always sees baby Bigfoots everywhere. And if you have every video, you see baby Bigfoots crawling all over the place, I just have a hard time believing that there's baby Bigfoots at all.
Bro, he came out and actually made a video saying that my sighting wasn't real that I got on camera after I called him out for like 3 times. I'm like, this guy keeps making wrong assertions. He said the Marble Mountain video wasn't real because they said it wasn't real on the Finding Bigfoot TV show. And I'm like, dummy, anything they say on TV, just think the opposite.
Yeah, it's easy. It's worked for Alex Jones.
Like, okay, I'm like, you're a fucking moron. But, you know, he did prove to me, though, like watching some of that, there is Bigfoot in the UK. Like, some of he made some videos. I was actually like, well, those do look like structures. Unless he's the kind of dude that would probably go out and make them himself, though. They look fucking real.
I don't know, dude. Bigfoot in UK, that's a little too hard.
Well, this raises the question of what is the nature of Bigfoot. Duffy, what?
Oh, yeah.
They're in Sweden and fucking reports of them, like, a lot of countries in Europe. So I'm like, why couldn't they get to, like, I mean, fuck, they see them in Mexico and shit. Like, you know? They might just be on vacation.
Well,
you never know.
It seems to me that we're not dealing with flesh and blood, and if you limit it to flesh and blood, you're basically wrong already.
Yo, they're in Africa, bro. Bigfoot is in Africa.
This is why when you know the cop who's in charge of the Daniel Martin case, he goes on Missing Enigma. He's got a lot of interesting stuff to say about David Paulides, and we should get into that too. But they
won't even say his fucking name. They call him.
But he'll flat out say that there is no Bigfoot, and I'm like, that sure is the cop way to go about this, because later on he'll be like, yeah, there was no criminal activity in the case because we didn't find any criminals. And that's what a cop would say. But it's the same thing with Bigfoot. It's like, we didn't find a flesh and blood creature, so there is no flesh and blood creature. Well, maybe he's right about that, but I don't think that means there's no Bigfoot.
Yeah, I mean, dude, obviously there's fucking Bigfoot. Come on, PG film, but I mean, everything else, people see him. It's just like anything. You see UFO, you don't have to get it on video. It happened. You get abducted, prove it. Can't. You know what I mean? It just happens over and over. But yeah, it's always fucking a fallacy made of the truth after the fact. Like I said, when the cat gets out of the bag, then they gotta fucking trick you and say it's something else. You know? Yeah.
Absolutely. So, on that podcast, it was alleged that David Paulides he claimed that, how should I say this? So I want to say this accurately. One of the last living witnesses to the case, he claimed the man was dead in 2010. And when I say last living witness, I mean the last living guy who was actually a part of the investigation. So almost like the last, reliable, impartial witness. Claimed he was dead in 2010, and then in 2016, this guy was still alive talking smack about Paulides. If that doesn't make you question the whole thing, I don't know.
It is interesting. I didn't watch that whole Enigma thing, but like that Dennis Martin case, dude, they say that the fucking bear is carrying this thing. Come on, police are never going to say Bigfoot. They're always going to say it's a bear. So he's implying Bigfoot.
What this guy said, though, was that he said that though it was the wild man was the quote, and that was one of the things. This is another guy who wasn't quoted, who was like a main witness in the case, who David Paulides didn't bother to quote. When they say wild man, they had a specific guy in mind who was like the disheveled homeless guy who happened to live in the area. And there wasn't necessarily a witness of anything on a kid's back, or a kid on anything's back, is what they said. There was a witness that could have been something on a back, but it didn't really go further than that.
But that could have been fucking cover up. Like, oh well, when I said it, I meant, I didn't mean wild man. I mean like, So I don't know. I found that whole part to be kind of hard to believe.
It's all sus.
Like, what happens when you get two dishonest people? You're a cop. What happened? Who started it? Who hit who? Fuck it. You're both under arrest. You're fucking get the fuck out of here. Like, they're all shitheads. You know what I mean? Fucking, you can't trust any of them. None of them have fucking truth. They're all gonna fucking lie about what really happened and exaggerate and fucking play their case. And it's like, dude, pretty soon, I don't listen to any of these fucks, including David. It's like, you already fucking infiltrated the Bigfoot community. Then you got everybody fucking on your bandwagon, and then you're bringing them over to the UFO world. I see what he's doing. I've known what he's been doing fucking forever, keeping it all a fucking mystery. But nobody understands the double agent in the community. They don't know how to call him out. They think, oh, he's just a person. He doesn't have an agenda.
He's a cop.
We're just gonna get the guy to stand here, and the trap door falls, and we got a fucking slave. Like, oh, what's wrong here? Want a beer? Here, come over here. Like, oh, you're just trying to isolate. Like, get them to stand here. Like, that's what they're doing with the fucking Bigfoot community. Stand in place. Here, I want you here.
Yeah.
Look here. When you listen to David Jones, he's like talking to the fucking cult. He's like, guys, people lately they're saying a lot of things, guys. And I'm like, dude, who are you talking to? I'm like, you're a fucking nut job. Like, you're following. Like, okay, is that what gets you? Like, you lost your kid, and you have fucking 50,000 people that follow you on the internet. Like, enjoy your fucking following now.
Any legitimate subculture movement, whatever, any grassroots thing, it's going to be co-opted. And basically whoever's the most visible figures in that movement, in that subculture, and whatever it is, it's all going to be bullshit, bankrolled by God knows who. But it's all going back to the pedophiles in power, baby. The dark
Money
magicians.
Talks, money talks. How do you get on Coast to Coast repeatedly every fucking 2 weeks? It's like people say, I'm trying to get back onto that show. They fucking slandered me. I want to go on and defend myself. Melba Ketchum called up when a dude was lying about her, and she said they wouldn't even let her on the fucking air to defend herself. So fucking they had her on, and they let somebody come on and shit all over her.
Dude, ever since Art Bell died, that show has been like just a fucking clown show, man. Like the weirdest. Like the problem is that George Norrie and like everybody else don't want to give anybody else the time of day to even say any crazy shit because he's gonna just shut them down. Like Art Bell.
George Norrie's a joke. Art Bell would at least keep it interesting. George Norrie's just a joke.
Jesuit college, bud. He's a gatekeeper. He's from Jesuit
yes,
college.
gatekeeper. That's a good word.
But and that's what Coast to Coast always was. It's always the most basic bitch shit where you have just enough truth to keep you listening, but then you have so much bullshit that you're always going to be on some fucking wild goose chase constantly.
Dude, I've called into that show. I think 4 different times I've been on the air, probably talking to a host. But I learned quickly that you can't tell them what you're going to talk about. You have to completely bullshit when you call up and Lex will answer and you're like, oh, I want to ask him, what about this? What about that? And I already know this is some stupid shit. He's going to give some dumb fuck answer. But you simplify it. They get you on. And then you go in, what about the Jesuits? I've been on when Hagman and Hagman were on there. And I fucking busted him and called out the Jesuits right in front of fucking Norrie. And dude, you can hear me on the fucking air. On the fucking Coast to Coast AM program with Hagman, calling out the fucking Jesuits, and he barely wanted to touch the question, but yes, definitely the secret societies are a major players, all this shit. I'm like, yeah, sorry, dude, maybe fucking say it right in front of George, but, and then the fucking kid ends up dead later. That was fucking strange too, the younger son.
Who was that?
There's a Hagman and Hagman show, a father and son show, and the younger Hagman died. Haggman. He's affiliated with like Steve Quayle, kind of some of that information.
Okay. I vaguely remember that
stuff we were talking about. You know what I mean, dude? You've been around the fucking internet. You know the fucking.
Yep.
How'd he die?
Mysterious circumstances, brother. Who knows? Heart attack machine from the CIA. Who knows?
That's so easy these days. Could just drop dead right now.
This guy Cody Snodgrass. I heard him talking in one interview. He's like, oh, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to kill anybody. All you gotta do is get this one chemical, and you go in their house, you just like put it in their glass, you like swirl it around, and then it dries, and then as soon as they have a drink, they're dead. And I was like, cool.
One time I was ringing up groceries. I was a kid ringing up groceries, and I was talking to some dude who was like a veteran. I don't know what the hell he was or anything, but he claimed to have some clearance. You never know what the hell these guys are saying. Just some old guy who's in the military. But one time he was talking to me. He was like, "Yeah, the last thing you hear before you go down is the crackle of electricity. That's how the gun works. The heart attack gun." You never know, but it was terrifying. It was terrifying to think about.
Fucking hey, dude, no shit. I don't want to fucking go out like that, but hey, there's gang stalkers out there, bud. I guarantee you that. I've had experiences with that shit. I met a dude one time at my fucking gym at my apartment complex. He's like, tell me all about it. He was the top salesman for fucking US West when fucking the CEO Ken Lay got framed by the fucking Bush administration because he didn't want to give up all the communications and let the government after 9/11 listen to everybody's fucking conversation. And fucking they end up framing him. Then my buddy that I meet ends up getting gang stalked. He said all the top salesmen and everybody who knew what happened that they framed this guy were fucking harassed to the point where he's like paranoid that people are following him all the time. I'm like, dude, that was years ago, bro. Like telling him, I'm like trying to rationalize with him, and like, because that was like 2000 and it's like 2018 or something, 17 now. And then I'm talking to this dude, and like he's like, no, dude, this gang stalking shit's real, blah blah blah. The next day, bro, I had this fucking dude walking through the apartment complex. I look up, I'm like, he definitely doesn't live here. And I'm like, I'm not a fucking pussy. Like, I'm thinking this dude is a big dude though. I'm like, if I had to fight this dude, I was like, I would definitely have to be thinking, hit him in the fucking right spots and don't let him get you, because this dude could fuck you up. He looks like he's been lifting his whole life, and he's completely fresh shaved, big head, leather jacket, LOVE in block letters on his shirt. Dude, he fucking walks like he's walking away from me, kind of across the front, and then boom, beelines it from my buddy's car. And he goes right to the fucking driver's side door, tap, 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 tap. He's got fucking leather gloves on, bro. It's the fucking summertime. And I'm like, I'm like, bro, don't open the fucking window. And he's like, why not? I'm like, put the car in fucking drive right now, in reverse. And he's like, what? He had his foot on the brake. I put the car in reverse. He looks at me. I go, are you strapped, dude? He's like, yeah. I go, give me your gun. He's got a concealed carry. And I was like, give me your gun. He said, no. I was like, give me your fucking pistol or fucking back the fuck up. He backs up, and this dude runs in front of the car, and he goes, I'm the gang stalker. And I was like, yo, I just talked to this dude the night before, telling him, bro, they're not like on your ass. Like, you gotta chill out. Like, this shit's not real. And then I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah,
like,
you get involved in the wrong shit. Definitely, we know Scientology does that. You know, that's confirmed. They're behind me.
Bro, I was fucking delivering Instacart to somebody. I knocked on the door, and this bitch was fucking paranoid. No, it was when I was delivering for, I worked for Safeway for a grocery store, and I did a home delivery to her house, drove a big refrigerated truck and shit. And I show up, and she is like scared. And I'm like, hey, I'm your Safeway driver. And it was like getting dark and shit. And she's like, I'm sorry. She's like, I have this guy stopping at my house. He's leaving notes. He's saying, Eddie, you better get a hold of me. I need to fucking talk to you, blah, blah, blah. She's like, it's getting crazy. I told him nobody lives here. He won't leave me alone. And I straight up told her, are you involved in like politics in any way or anything like that? And she's like, well, my dad's a judge, and I just testified in this federal case. And I said, you know what? I said, you're getting gang stalked right now. I said, they're sending people after you to harass you. And I said, do you have a gun? And she's like, looked at me for a second. She's like, yeah. I'll go, in the house? She's like, yeah. And I go, listen, you just don't worry. I said, somebody comes in your house, if they even try to come in the window and they get through even their hand, I said, you fucking shoot them. And I just told this girl everything to do, but she's like, I said, look up gang stalking. This is definitely.
Oof, that's a touchy thing to say to someone in that position. That's a touchy thing.
She was so scared, but I'm like, listen, girl, I don't mean to. I'm like, it was just the right person got sent to you. You know what I mean? But it was. I mean, dude, I know a lot of shit about a lot of shit. I just see people with a fucking Bigfoot hat and start like blowing their mind, and they're just like, oh, never thought this shit was real. I just bought the hat.
I had a TI, a targeted individual, in here for a while, and it was pretty rough. They were clearly going through some shit. They would talk about how basically they're being hit by what do they call it? The energy weapons. Yeah, the energy weapons. Basically, microwaving them alive is what they would talk about. He would talk. What else would he say? He would talk about like waking up like from being unconscious in his house with his pants around his ankles, feeling like he was violated. He would talk about them putting like LSD in his like bed sheets and stuff like that.
Have you heard of?
Mom was in on it.
His mom was in on it. It gets silly. It gets to the point where you couldn't possibly believe it. It gets to the point where you're like, all right, well, if this guy thinks his mom is gang stalking him, he definitely thinks I'm gang stalking him. Next thing you know, he thinks you're gang stalking him. I don't know.
Have you heard of the book called Cameleo? The author's Robert Guffey, Guffey. Bro, you have to look this guy up and listen. He was on the Higher Side Chats podcast. He has been on a bunch of different podcasts. I don't like the fact that he's a fucking open Freemason, but dude, he tells this story about this dude that he knew that had this kid like show up to the drug house and like has these stolen fucking like night vision goggles and like Department of Defense fucking laptops and shit, and all of a sudden, dude, he starts getting gang stalked hard. And like, I mean, like groups of people are following this dude. There's stories about him like getting so sick of it, he just like he was like dumps like a large fountain pop on a dude's head. Like we're like military guys like doing shit to it. Like I can't even explain the stories. Like I haven't heard it for a while, but like it is fucking amazing. Like they're even in contact with him. Like just give us the stuff back and this will all go away. And these are like military people that are like calling him, and he's like, look, I don't have your shit. Like stop fucking following me. This happens all in the San Diego area. But Camelio by Robert Duffy. You got to listen to the interviews, dude. It'll blow your fucking mind.
Yeah.
But it's all being facilitated by military, and it's like Colorado Springs is a fucking, a little more than an hour away from here.
Yeah.
And Denver's got Buckley Air Force Base, and north of here is fucking, Fort Collins and the underground base.
Yeah, underground bases. You got all sorts of military bases going on. I know they say that Colorado Springs is like all military men, essentially. Like that's where they live.
Oh yeah,
that's what I hear. So
my wife wanted to move there. I'm like,
now the people I've seen who go down the gang stalking rabbit hole. God, I don't know what it takes to get there. I feel like there's a lot of different stories. I don't know if they were gang stalked first and then looked into it, or if they were looking into it first. I think I've heard all sorts of things. But at the end of the day, like the people I've talked to, the situations they're in their lives, if they can't fix that, they would be better off dead. I say that because it is so pathetic to be so obsessed with how your mother was gang stalking you by the CIA. I can't imagine living like that.
Fuck that. I mean, pretty soon you got to turn your back on it, go find a bitch to fuck, and get a job.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I feel like I would naturally just be like, oh, that's not real, and go about my day, just because that's my will. That's how my willpower goes.
That's the thing, is you have to ignore them. It's like, not going to fucking bother me.
There have been moments in my life where I've had these thoughts, and maybe it's schizophrenia, maybe it's the real thing, where I'm like, that seems weird. It seems like someone's kind of following me around. I don't know. It seems weird. But that's the thing.
I've had my fucking phone clicking and tapping for like years.
I just tell myself it's me. I'm the one with the power to change it regardless, and any happiness I live comes from within me. Yeah.
Once you find out, it's like, here he is, this guy killed somebody, and you're walking down the street pointing at him. Pretty soon, like, nobody's listening. You're like, am I going to keep screaming and following this guy? Like, or am I just going to go home? I guess, like, he got away with it. That's how it becomes. Because like, nobody's fucking listening. And pretty soon, they sick the fucking goons on you, and it's like, okay, you can know the truth, but it's just, I quit fucking pressing those buttons sometimes. That's why I got into the Bigfoot world, because I'm like, I figured out the truth of the government, and the only answer is remove the secret societies from government, remove all their fucking puppet politicians. Everyone needs to go. Trump or Democrat or Republican.
If you identify as a politician, you can get up against the wall.
You have to fucking just like, okay, I'll commit. What am I going to do for work that doesn't conflict with what I believe in? They're taking over the world, every fucking industry, bit by bit. It's so hard to find a job where you're like not in conflict and working for the New World Order. I'm like, fuck, I'll just like sell furniture, like organic food, or like work at the grocery store. But what can you do? Like, I'm not fucking cutthroat. I'm not going to go in the CEO world of fucking Freemasons and be like, yeah, fuck Freemasons. You're like, you're fired. Oh, fuck.
They'll tell you how many jobs there are, but then it's like you're getting minimum wage and you'll never get benefits. And I was like, all right, great. I'm glad I got a job.
You could work at a fast food restaurant. You could work anywhere. All for fucking $20 an hour.
You can have 3 jobs a day. You go nuts. Fuck.
I'm trying to fucking get like better money right now in my life, and I'm like, holy fuck, it is the cutthroat world out there, and fucking, I don't know. It's just I gotta find my way through it. The thing is, you gotta like be a business owner, and then you're fucking, dude. The secret societies, the Jesuits, and the Freemasons have their fucking gang sign on the state seal of Colorado. So like, if I go and I'm paying my taxes, every check is gonna be like, fuck you, motherfuckers. I know who you are. It's like, here's your fucking $29,358 for nothing. It's just like, I don't want to fucking work for these fucks. I like the black market, bro. I miss it.
We'll never went anywhere.
Huh?
Well, it got shrunken down ever since weed and all this other bullshit got legalized. But it's still there.
Yeah, I heard it's still there. I know one person that buys weed on the black market. One person.
Dude, I'm telling you guys, vintage weed is the future.
He's talking about mids, by the way, brick weed.
I'm like, vintage weed, I know. I was like, what are like, bud?
No, it's just mixing.
No, that's the funny thing is even if you're buying weed in the black market, that dude got it from like a medical place. So it's still like a prepackaged bag with a label on it and everything.
You know, it could be. It could be. I used to grow my own, bro. So, I mean, trust me, I went up to Mount Evans and I found where they fucking dumped a fucking huge stash of fucking all the trimmings, like from the pots with like, but bits of weed left on it, dude. And I thought, oh, maybe Bigfoot was fucking see this and be into it, right? Because I was doing like Sasquatch research. This up on a huge mountain in Colorado. And fucking I walked down there and it didn't look like and there was ounces of bud still left on it. But they didn't take any. They took like the stem, a huge stalk, like 4 feet long, and they wrapped it all up, bro. I swear to God, and fucking made like a statue and put it right on top. It was fucking cool as fuck.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got it on video. My buddy wanted to plant some weed plants, and I was like, he's like, you know where I should put these mother plants, dude? They're huge. And I was like, plant them out in the woods somewhere. He's like, I don't know where. And I was like, well, I fucking go bigfooting everywhere. I was like, here, drive up this road, and if you go this far and park over here, I was like, there's water coming down this creek. I was like, go up in here, dude. I was like, plant them in here. So like, he's like, okay, I did it. And I was like, okay, well, let's go back and check on them. So I fucking drove up in there and fucking parked at a different like cutback. You know what I mean? Because I know the mountain pretty good. And then fucking, dude, we got out of the car, bro. I walked down like a fucking 8-10 foot sand embankment to get to like level ground, and the fucking trees start shaking, bro.
It's the feds! The DEA!
That's what he thought it was. My buddy was like, dude, I thought we were getting raided. People were coming down like for 3 plants. But like, dude, it was like paranormally loud footsteps. I'm not kidding. This was a Bigfoot experience where I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, it's so loud. Like, it's resounding sound. And I can see the bushes shaking, bro. And it's only like 50 feet in front of me. And I'm like, fuck, that's the way we're going. And I'm like, dude, we're not going that way. And he's like, you don't want to go? I'm like, no, get back in the car. We're going to drive back the way you fucking parked. And we get down there, walk back in. All 3 plants were busted, bro. At the very bottom, like, and they were like thick.
You got branch breaks? Holy shit. Yeah.
And fucking Bigfoot fucking crushed those and was like, don't come back.
That's awesome.
Damn. Yeah, you know who I really think has a lot of Bigfoot stories, but we'll never ever hear them, are like back in the day, like grow up motherfuckers. Motherfuckers who would live out in the fucking wilderness and grow like fields of that shit. I bet they have so many stories.
Story on Sasquatch Chronicles where the fucking dude that grew all the weed fucking killed one and shot it through the peephole of his front door, and it slumped down and fucking blocked the door, couldn't open it.
Oh shit.
I've heard a few stories about grow up Sasquatches.
That was a good one. Oh yeah, no shit. You don't listen. You don't want to shoot a Sasquatch. That fucking thing could throw a rock at your head. You're dead.
If you come with the king, you best not miss, dude.
I don't know, headshots. I'm saying if you gotta shoot a Sasquatch, I guess you gotta shoot him right between the eyes. Is what I heard. I wouldn't risk the fucking body shot, dude. I'd be shooting for right in here.
So I'm out in Jersey. I'm trying to find Bigfoots. You think I have a pretty good shot at seeing one out here? You said they're in Africa, so I got to be able to see them here, right?
Thanks for asking, but yeah, they see them in the Pine Barrens and shit, right? I got a guy that's invited me out to Buffalo, New York. So I mean, that's not that far from you, even though it's kind of up there north. But
there's no distance too far to travel for Bigfoot.
What they said, there's the only state is like Hawaii that they don't see them in, and those have like the little short, hairy people. I think like the Minahua or Mina something.
We got little people. I do.
I saw a little person. I never like believe, like I didn't not believe them. I never thought I'd see one, you know. And I was driving in Texas, and one ran across the fucking way in front of me, dude. It had green skin, and it had clothes on. It had it looked like a poncho or like a robe, like, you know, like its head popped through, and it covered the front and the back, and it had a belt around it. I couldn't see the arms and the legs. They were moving so fast. They were just flashes, but the torso was across the fucking road. I could see the pointy nose, green skin. The hair started at the top of the head and went back, and it was like 3 feet tall.
That's weird. It almost sounds like the Green Children story, something like that.
Unlike,
Loveland,
I don't remember. No, I don't remember. It's another tangent. Doesn't matter. But have you ever seen the video from like Indonesia or Malaysia or something where the little person runs out in front of the bikers?
It was like
yeah.
The skin was green, bro. Like green, like
yeah. I'd say that footage is probably the best cryptid footage I've ever seen in my life. Like, clearly depicting something that's purported and not understood.
I can't believe I don't have a fucking dash cam after I saw that fucking little person. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know, I should. I drive like fucking crazy. I'd incriminate myself with a fucking dash camera. That's why I don't want to get one. You know what I mean? So,
I'd ask you, what do you think they're...
Be like, you got a dash cam, let me see
No,
that.
but the thing with dash cams is they're only going to face forward. Because, like, I've had experience, because, like, I'm a truck driver by trade. I've been all throughout the country. I've been over in the Four Corners area, man. I've seen some fucking UFOs, but they've never been from my camera. I've always seen them to my left or right. And dude, those experiences are fucking wild. Like, I'm literally seeing like basketball shaped orbs of light like flying next to my truck and into the air. I think the first time I witnessed it, I thought it was a bug, but there's no bug that looks like that.
Oh, shit, if it's that big. That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's shit out there, but yeah, it's like fucking, you gotta have the fucking video rolling or you fucking miss it.
Yeah, I'd ask if you expect like the little people if they're living underground or whatever, but like out there, everything's underground. The UFOs are underground. The government's underground. Fucking, the little people are underground. The Dogman's underground.
Oh, they fucking got fucking highways that they can fucking drive 18-wheelers under the fucking street.
Yep. Yeah, they have, if you have a military base built into a mountain, what else you got built into that goddamn thing? Well, you get a little further down, it's in there.
When you fucking went in there, you know what I mean? Who was underground? Look at the Phil Schneider story. He said they were like building the underground base, and they bust into a pre-existing cavern with fucking gray aliens. The thing goes like this and shoots a fucking laser beam that fucking fries like 3 of his fucking fingers off.
Fillets him like a fish, blows off his hands.
But I'm just saying, they know what's under there. This shit's out there, man.
I would say that there are basically like countries unto themselves underground at this point, in all likelihood. And when you see the UFOs, when they show it on Tucker Carlson flying into the ocean, that's where they're going.
The breakaway civilization. It's called the breakaway civilization. There could be something on the backside of the moon right now.
I do believe that.
Could be military living up there in bubble shit with technology that's so beyond anything, bro. And the drug trade could be fucking funding it.
I was hearing stories from remote viewers saying that there was a breakaway, it wasn't confirmed that this was the breakaway civilization, but it seems so obvious that there were humanoid beings on the moon that weren't quite humanoid by our understanding, or weren't quite human by our understanding. But they looked a lot like us, but they were like very, very developed psychically, so much so that they had like their pineal gland was like protruding out through their forehead or something like that, things like that. But remote viewers saying
they were so fucking
remote viewers saying that these are breakaway people who basically sped up their evolution apart from us so much they're not even human anymore, living on the moon.
That's why I fucking hate remote viewers, bro. But I believe that you heard that. But fucking God, I think Ed Dames is full of shit. When I hear that motherfucker on Coast to Coast, I'm like, don't give me this fucking shit. Maybe the men of Steric Ghosts, all that shit. There's something to it, but I'm just like, break the fucking wall down. Come on. You got guns and shit. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all those remote viewers were basically mind control victims too, so what can you say?
What fucking surprised me, bro? They all are. You see this fucking movie called American Ultra? It was on HBO. It's about the fucking MK Ultra program. And they're openly saying, oh, the CIA had me and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, it's real, but they're depicting it as like fake or something. It's like, do the people even fucking know?
Well, that's the thing.
A giant psyop ran on them.
You get like the men who stare at goats, and like, yeah, these were experiments that actually happened. It wasn't all fun and games, and it was connected to MK Ultra.
Oh yeah, even that Montauk shit. People think, Montauk. It's like, dude, if you knew, they were doing some serious experimentations, and it had a lot to do with the occult. And I mean, even the invention of the atom bomb, where, dude, the guy fucking burnt alive. But they were doing all this occult shit. All the rocket stuff that was going out in Nevada at the test sites back in the fucking, I don't know when that was, probably the 50s or 40s, whenever that was, when they were developing all the bombs and shit. But I'm just saying, there is some fucking occult magic surrounding like real physical manifestations and creations. Like, look at the Nikes, the satanic Nikes with the blood in them, the fake blood that Lil Nas is fucking supporting. You know what I mean? Like, there's some fucking ritual magic to products that people are using, drinking, eating. And bro, there could be. Have you seen this Oscar Mayer commercial where the fucking lady's falling out of the sky and it's all nice and peace, and then boom, she lands on a piece of bread, and then boom, fucking all the sandwich meat lands on her, fucking pickle, fucking toothpick in it with an olive, and I'm like, and then it's just like Oscar Mayer, and I'm like, oh, so there's human meat in Oscar Mayer? Like, thanks for
a glass of adrenochrome, a frosty glass of adrenochrome on the side.
Dude, I guarantee you're eating people. Like, I don't eat McDonald's. Like, if I eat a McDonald's, it's a fish sandwich. That's it. Like, I don't want to eat fucking certain foods where I'm like, I don't like to eat non-organic at home, but if I gotta eat some fast food, I'm scared I'm gonna eat a person, bro.
It is weird out there. And you're talking about Montauk, and it's like you can't even parse the real from the fake. You got like Preston Nichols coming out saying that he worked in a cubicle next to a reptilian who was drinking Drano to get drunk. It's like, how am I supposed to believe this? I don't know.
That's the cover-up. They're like, dude, you know too much. Here, come on our team. Start doing conferences. Start going to the talks. Here, we'll give you a handler. Here, we'll groom you. How was your paycheck? Okay. No, we bugged you. We hear everything you fucking say. Trust me, they can put a bug inside you and fucking listen to everything that you fucking ever say. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe that.
That's my hope about all this. We talk about all of the surveillance and all of the AI and shit, but I think the fact of the matter is, like, I would like to believe that they are so saturated with shit that they could be surveilling. Everybody's a goddamn dissident. Nobody believes what they want them to believe anymore, and everyone's a complete crazy person. They could surveil everybody. I would like to think that there's so many people that there's just not enough manpower on Earth to keep up with it. They're just feeding it into the AI, hoping that the AI will deal with it later. They'll arrest everybody later. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, you hope so till the gang stalkers show up, motherfucker.
That's true. That's true.
But you're all right. You know how to fucking walk that line, bro. See, I go over it on purpose, and I purposely push motherfuckers back when YouTube like couldn't block you and nobody was regulating commentary. Dude, I'd be knocking these motherfuckers out. Like, I know you're a fucking double agent. I know you're you're wearing fucking camouflage. You work for the fucking military. Just fucking going off. And dude, just if I accused every motherfucker of being a pedophile, rapist, touching somebody, I mean, guaranteed one of them's gonna go off and fucking punch back, and I'm going to touch a button. But I'm telling you, I was touching a lot of buttons back then. A lot of major. I'd see the same accounts that were lying. I'd do all the astroturfing shit. You're a fucking paid account. Why won't you say you're not? Admit it. You're a fucking paid account. They would never say they weren't. I'd start catching them on the things they could and wouldn't say. And then I'd explain the parameters to them on their job. And I'd be like, tell your boss to go fuck themselves. And then pretty much, dude, I was like, they're like, people tell me you're a fucking YouTube legend, bro. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Because
So,
I'm
like,
fight for everybody.
what are some examples of these liars? What would they be saying?
Like, fucking one of them, there was like a Jenny McCarthy video about fucking her son and the autism being caused by the fucking vaccine. And bro, somebody was posted on that video. And I mean, I fucking worked on this motherfucker for months to fucking bust him down, find every comment he made, turn the tides, get the whole fucking comment section with me. But I'm like, I'm telling you, bro, I was fucking working on somebody. Psychology, homeboy. Fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
fucking psychological warfare, dog.
Now, that was seen as like schizo behavior, but now we just assume that every like popular person, it's just full of bots. All their engagement is bots, and we just know, and that's where we progress to now. It's like they don't even
AI
need.
is fucking screening for anything you say, and if you start saying too many things, fucking boom! Oh, your comments are being removed, dude. You know how many? I mean, honestly, I get blocked for 24 hours on YouTube, about once a week, because fucking I'll just say something too fucking brazen, and they're just like, something you said was, so you're blocked for 24 hours, and it's usually when I just say a blatant truth, like, this guy's a puppet of the fucking Freemasons, or who knows.
YouTube has the most insidious elements to it. I swear to God, I was just talking smack to somebody, and it was just I don't remember what I was saying. It was an insult. I was like, I'm gonna come beat you up. Just some nonsense insult that was just stupid and fucking a total joke. And I swear to God, I posted this comment about how I'm gonna go get on a bus and beat this guy up, and it told me it posted, and it just never posted. I swear to God, the point is that this fucking AI bullshit, it fucking recognizes when there's stuff it doesn't like in there that doesn't help its monetization for the company or whatever. And it does this thing where it's like what I think this said to fucking AA people, where you write a letter that you never send I think that is literally what they're doing in the censorship now. It's like you will think you're in the discussion, you will think you're having a conversation, but nobody can even see what you're posting. It's not even shown.
I have numerous accounts on YouTube, like 2 or 3. I have 2 Bigfoot ones, and then I have a rock hounding channel that I find different specimens and fossils and shit, and make videos of my findings of that shit. But I'll go on with my other account, and I'll be like, oh, you can't even see my commentary. But in the live chat, you think, oh, there's 12 comments. Why isn't anybody responding? I'm saying like provocative things, and then you go look, and you're like, oh, I'm shadow banned. It's blocked. Like, but dude, people will fucking block you. The moderators will block you.
Oh, yeah.
So you got even people in communities going, oh, his truth is a little extreme. Let's tone it down here. And I'm like, you fucking sick fuck. Do you know the war we're in? And then you're fucking muting the one person speaking the fucking truth. I'm like, Jesus fuck. And that's why I'm just so outspoken anymore. I'm like, I'll just shit on anybody, smack anybody around that wants to get in the way. Because I'm like, dude, these fists are flying. You don't think you're gonna catch one if you stand there? Find out. Dropping fucking fist bombs on your ass. And I don't get fit. I don't get violent. That's the thing. Like you got to know how to not say, I'm gonna come kick your ass. You can say, dude, if we ever had a face to face, you would be a fucking dead man. By the way, is this your address? I looked one dude up and I called out his hometown one time.
That's what I did. That's what I did.
He had like a weird last name, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking look.
I said I was getting on the bus to come to his hometown.
And he was like, he didn't want to fuck around. But I don't do that shit. I don't like this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be cool, but I'm like, you think it couldn't happen to you? Like, dude, it happened to me. I'm like, motherfucker, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Dude, have you heard? I keep referencing these interviews and books to look up, but you gotta, after this interview, you gotta go back and listen and fucking look this shit up. There's one fucking dude, his name's Zach Voorhees. He's the Google whistleblower. He fucking, I don't know if he sued Google. He's exposing Google. Dude, they meet in fucking Freemasonic lodges and have like satanic rituals, and he's like talking about all this shit, how they're censoring shit, changing all this crap in the algorithm, the fucking flag shit. And he's like, I was behind the scenes and I was in management, and he's like, I'm seeing all this shit and I'm trying to call him out on it. And pretty soon he's like, I'm working with the enemy and they're harassing me and calling the cops on me and doing all this shit to me and stalking me. You got to listen to this guy. He was on the Confessionals podcast, Zach Voorhees, the Google whistleblower.
This AI shit, it is straight up divination. It's sorcery. The AI art generation, people are like, that's not art. Well, they're right. It's not art, but it's divination. It's a different thing. It's like looking in a crystal ball.
Guess who's going to be fucking worshipped? Like the Antichrist analogy, you know, like all that shit. It could be fucking technology, like the computer.
No,
Yeah.
dude, you guys,
I'm just telling you, it might
right.
be like the master computer, bro. And it'd be like,
you are right. We gotta stop.
Like the computer said, I gotta kill you. I'll be sorry.
Stop thinking in these like modern terms, because like these terms like sorcery, divination, and stuff like that, we gotta call it for what it really is. And like if we sound crazy doing it, fuck it, dude. Like we're more on a mission than these fucking normies. Like we know what's going on.
Well, the
Just
thing
call
is,
it what it is.
if you know that it's sorcery and divination, then you can actually use it for like your own purposes. Like you can be like, I want a logo for my podcast, and you tell it to do it, and it gives you one, and it's not done. It's not like that one step. It's not gonna have the words in it, but it'll show you an idea, something that was just underlying. Maybe you conjured that thing. Yeah. It's the same way tarot works.
There could be like sacred geometry and shit, like because you're referencing like sigil magic. And I've thought of that a bunch of times. Like, if I were to start a business, I have to have a logo. You have to incorporate certain things that appeal mentally to people, that is inherent in their consciousness, attract them. And a lot of that's done through, like, sacred geometry or shapes.
The AI knows all these things that are underlying.
Pisces, like 2 O's with that fucking oval, like, in the middle. But they use that all the time. Like, they'll just have it on the sign for a fucking neighborhood. And I'm like, what made the fucking guy that fucking thought of the neighborhood to make the 2 circles interlocking like that? Because they're in the occult. They know the symbols. They're appealing to the fucking higher ups. They're going, hey, I use the same symbols as you, blah, blah, blah. It's like these rappers. They say, you want to break into the industry? I can't break in. What's happening? Oh, write a fucking song about the sun, about fucking, it's all Lucifer worship. So if you fucking use the paradigms and the analogies and incorporate them into your songs, all of a sudden, oh, hey, you're in the club. Oh, I like that new jam you made. Why? Oh, because it's all about sunshine, about the light of the sun, or blah, blah, blah. They're all fucking trying to do that shit. And I see that shit happen in all this amateur hip-hop, but that's what they do. They're all fucking Freemasons. Lupe Fiasco and Jay-Z and all them motherfuckers, Kanye, and it's like, you know, I don't know if Lupe is actually. I don't want to make accusation, but he's homeboy.
I'm gonna assume I've heard his name before, so I'm gonna assume he was on Epstein's island.
Exactly. Thank you, bro. I'm with you. I love your fucking logic. Like, not joking.
Yeah.
You just gotta paint with a broad fucking brush. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a little late. It's a little late for nuance at this point. We know what the fuck is up. We should know what's up.
I love it, bro.
It's very frustrating to think of it like that. Because then, at that point, everybody in society is like an accomplice to it, if they're not outright opposed to it.
They fucking are, bro. And when you call them out and tell them how they're supporting the fucking system, even if it's your fucking family, bro, even if it doesn't matter, they're like, what?
You just gotta stop.
Like, if you're not opposing it,
yeah,
you're fucking supporting it. Quit voting for it. What's so hard is to see people like spending their money, entertaining themselves, go to dinner, let's go on a cruise, let's go on a trip. I'm like, let's fucking oppose the fucking war. Like, do something that matters. No, can't do that. Why not? Just take a stance. Like, costs nothing. Just say it out loud. Wouldn't even think it.
Well, you know, and people always want to know, like, what can we do? What can I do? And there's a million things. We can start listing, like, the little ways you could improve the world right now. But the point is, like, any way that you improve yourself, that you can take with you, that stays valuable outside of anybody else's say, that's the stuff. And there's a lot of hobbies that qualify as that, more than I could possibly list off. It's all about having a stronger will, stronger body, stronger will, stronger mind, stronger spirit, all of that. That's what matters.
I'm with you, bro. Honestly, I was hearing somebody talk about that, the spiritual path, and then you think of it in contrast to the life that you're forced to have to live in order to get the money that it takes to survive. Like, 99% of us are not doing what we inherently would want to do for society and the role that we would want to play in order to get it to happen. And I mean, if everybody did what they wanted, nothing would fucking get done. That's the other thing. So it's kind of like a double bind, but there's got to be some of us out there.
No, they're
just wrong.
There's some people who live to work, and there's some people who work to live. So like there's people like us. I work to live. So like I'm going to want to that I'm the kind of person that, like you said, that's going to want to do what he wants to do. And then there's the people that live to work that are going to just do that kind of shit just to get things done.
The fact of the matter is, every job that is worth having has some aspect of creativity to it that somebody would want to be in charge of and do, just because it's what they would want to do, whether there was money or not, I think.
No, you're right. I mean, even if less, you're right, because what if somebody's pouring concrete? They could look at that as an art form.
The fact is, though, but all manual labor, in theory, could be automated at this point if the resources were granted where they're supposed to go, and everything left, you could have, like, engineering would be the main thing in construction.
Or we could just get the fucking Mexicans to do it. I mean, I don't care if their kids do it. They're standing on the street corner with a sign, holding a doll, and your daughter's sitting there at Walmart. I'm like, bro, put this guy in the job. Let his kid bring around the lemonade and the refreshments. You know, come on, Mama can make the tacos.
The problem is,
neighborhoods to build.
The problem is that you can pay those guys pennies, and they can send it back. They'll just send it back to Mexico, and that's possibly an issue. Possibly.
It's a fucking issue, though. But I mean, it's like anything in this world. You know what I mean? It's like so many fucking problems, so much management of resources. Nothing's being done right. Everything privatized that shouldn't be, and everything's fucking left up to everybody that could easily just be taken care of by society. It's like, let's take care of ourselves before we take care of Israel. Let's take care of ourselves before we fucking wage war on I mean, I know that they got to wage war to keep the dollar floating, but just admit it. Just tell the people
it ain't floating.
We have to kill somebody. If you want to go to Target, we're gonna have to kill some brown people. Okay. Sorry,
for sure.
Tell them how it is.
For sure. And that's the thing is, like, we can't do that anymore. We can't put boots on the ground anymore. We'll lose the goddamn war. We got to be able to win this thing with just, like, drones and propaganda. And if we can't do that, we're fucked at this point. And the only, confidence anyone's ever had in the dollar was our ability to pay it back. Well, that's fucking gone. All the military agreements out the window. It's all bullshit. It's not real. So that's when Saudi Arabia is like, all right, well, I guess we're going to sell oil to China, in Chinese currency as opposed to the fucking US dollar, the petrodollar. And that's when it all falls apart. That's right where we're at.
Oh, yeah. It's about to happen in our generation, man. We're going to see it.
I wonder if fucking electric cars are going to take over, honestly. It makes me... makes me wonder what the future of gas even is.
Nah, dude,
Just
not in America.
They still need
dude,
fossil fuels.
I'm gonna tell you right now, in America, that's like the worst thing to happen because like our consumer products are made to fail. Those fucking Teslas are made to fucking fail. Like
I would never drive one. You burn inside that fucking thing as soon as you crash.
Yeah, dude, and fucking like when they get too old, dude, they're just expensive to replace. You might as well just buy another car.
Well, and there's the slave labor that they're fucking using to get the lithium ion. It's all in Afghanistan. That's why they stopped the war so they could start mining that shit. If Joe Biden's invested in a Chinese company that's making the fucking lithium ion batteries. So it's a complete conflict of interest. That motherfucker should get yanked off the stage by a fucking 10-foot fucking sheep shank.
I have a great idea. How we could solve the car issue, the overpopulation issue, the fuel issue, all this real easy. We got to make these cars got computers. If you hit empty, it should automatically drive you directly into a telephone pole. And you'll never have to worry about gas again. So once that fucking light comes on, you're gonna be sweating, dude.
Sorry, bro, that's fucking hilarious. People are dying in these Teslas, though. They're like, once they fucking crash, the fucking doors don't open, bro. And they don't even got like a fucking pocket knife to break the fucking window out. And they can't kick the window and they fucking burn in their fucking cars. I mean, it's just happened up in Evergreen. It's tragic, but that's what they get.
If this was a Chinese car, I would have been able to fucking karate chop my way through it.
Bro, those lithium-ion batteries are like burning kids' dicks off. Like, they'll have like their fucking rig in their pants, like smoking vape, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, my pants are on fucking fire.
Oh, speaking of Chinese, I think you guys are you were just talking about gang stalking and microwaves and shit like that. There was
There's a Chinese microwave that's been gang stalking my wonton soup.
Dude, like there was a situation that just happened. I think it was like a day or two ago, where there was like this Chinese guy. This Chinese guy was saying that he was being attacked by the 5G radio, the antennas that they just put up in the city. And this guy like recorded himself driving into it's a company that's responsible for the new 5G towers. Huawei. Does anyone know what
Huawei?
Huawei.
Yeah, Huawei.
Huawei.
Huawei. Yeah. So like he went postal on a Huawei cell phone store. Like he drove his car. Yeah, he drove his car into the mall, into the fucking store, to like so he could try to stop the 5G shit. So
I wish people would take these fucking towers out, dude. I see them around town, and I'm like, you could just hit that with like a fucking push bumper, and just it's only 4 bolts. Just bust that fucker. 8 bolts. They got these fake trees too that I hate seeing.
Yeah, I'm wondering what it's safe to advocate for at this point, but
we gotta do a psyop. We gotta do a psyop. We gotta do what Klaus was saying back in the day. We gotta start putting infographics and stuff like that, saying that there's gold and copper in these things, and the crackheads will do the rest.
That might work. That just might work.
I love that idea. People might get electrocuted in the process, but you know the second round will get it.
For sure. Oh man.
Gotta wear rubber gloves when you're lines, guys.
Do we got anything else? Have we run dry?
Not really. I mean, we're just BSing at this point, but
that's true. All right, I'm gonna end the recording. Mr. Duffy, everyone, Mr. Duffy 81 on YouTube. Please go over there and give the guy a sub. People who desperately need it, people who deserve it. God, sit there on YouTube for a decade, man. You wonder what the point is after a while when Steve Isdall is probably making bank. It sucks.
Oh, dude, I'm so shadow banned. I got 5,000 subscribers and I get like 50 views on my videos. So come check me out. Fuck YouTube.
Whoop whoop.